What is up? Welcome to the show. Saturday night, we've got week two, a lot of games tomorrow, a lot of question marks, a lot of things happening. CMC on IR. Everybody's freaking out. Jordan Mason, what are we selling him for in Dynasty? I've made a few Jordan Mason trades myself, and I still have a few shares also. So held on to a couple shares, sold a couple off. But yeah, that's big. Big for Jordan Mason. So we'll go through basically all the games that'll be happening tomorrow. I guess we'll just go one by one through them and we'll talk about those particular players. What up, Ruckus? What's good, man? What's going on? How is your week one and what's going on for you now in week number two? I have one share of Tua in Dynasty and one share. Do I have one share in redraft? No, not a redraft. But I got one share of Tua in Dynasty, and that obviously was crushing. Especially like we don't know what's going to happen. Like, what if he retires? Like, we're fucked. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. He'll probably miss a few weeks to be safe, and then we'll see what happens from there. But automatically, right? Tyreek Hill, who was, the 101 in some leagues, or at least a top 3, 4 pick, right? Winding up like now he's got Skylar Thompson. I mean, Jalen Waddle as well. Like this does this hurt Achan as well as far as his pass catching, right? They might try and give him some more carries now, but that's obviously going to affect that whole offense. And, who knows how long that's going to be for. They do have basically like a 10-day 10 days off because they wound up playing the Thursday night game. But I don't think that's going to happen. He's going to miss at least a few weeks, it seems like, if not, maybe more, and hopefully not. But well, I don't even know what he was thinking. I mean, why are you trying to go head first into a defender? Like you had the first down already. You could have just slid. But, he doesn't run often like that, and he's not obviously, he didn't prepare for those kind of situations, and he went head first, and that was just bad. But, yeah, what's going on with everybody out there for week 2? Like, what do we got? Week 1, picked up Mason before San Fran's game on week 1, only because my opponent had CMC. Yeah, I mean, listen, when you're taking CMC, especially when he was pretty much like the first pick in drafts, and we know that he was already injured coming in, depending how late, you did your draft, Elijah Mitchell was out already, right? On IR. So we should definitely try and handcuff those guys, especially that offense. Like you should have had Mason on your bench. But for those that didn't, some of us have capitalized and picked them up on waivers, just like you have here. So I mean, like I said, I've got 2 shares of him left in Dynasty. I traded away 2 shares. He's a guy that I stashed in most of my leagues because he's a backup running back. You want those backup running backs on your bench for this specific reason, that when they do get a chance to play, although it only may be a few games, right? What if it's just the next 4 weeks and then CMC comes back? Mason might still have like a small role, but when CMC back, CMC is going to be CMC. So are you buying him just for the next 4 games? Or what if CMC comes back and re-injures it and then you've got him for the rest of the season? But great situation for Mason, and they're gonna give him the ball. Unfortunate for the Dolphins. I mean, the Bills just kind of killed it. James Cook obviously wound up doing his thing with the 3 tutties, but I mean, they had to use Achan basically as the workhorse. 22 carries, 7 receptions for 69 yards and a tutty. Only 96 yards on the ground, but they kinda had no choice with Mostert and Jeff Wilson out. They coulda gave some more carries to Jalen Wright. I get he had 5 carries, but only 4 yards, so ineffective on the ground. But Achane wound up leading them in receiving. Unfortunate for anybody who had Keon Coleman, including myself, just putting up a donut, but just because of how the game script was and how that went. So that kinda sucked. So I have Keon Coleman, I think, on 2 squads, so I had to eat that donut. James Cook obviously did his thing. Dalton Kincaid, I mean, not bad. 4 for 33, but again, like with the game script, like, I mean, that's good. Only Shakir had more targets, had 5 for 54. I mean, James Cook, 11 carries for 78 yards, 2 tutties on the ground, 1 through the air. You had Ray Davis get 9 carries, only 29 yards, so he didn't really do much with it. But Diaz, what up, Diaz? What's goody, bro? My team: Lamar Jackson, Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Mason, St. Brown, Marvin, Dell, Andrews. Okay. I like it. Hopefully Marv gets going. I mean, I didn't like what Kyler said. He's just a fucking idiot. But he's just got to take accountability. It doesn't matter. Like you're the quarterback, so you obviously in the end decide where the ball goes to. You just listening to what the coach says. I mean, is that what Tom Brady did? Is that what Peyton Manning did? No, they ran the shit. But just take accountability, like and say, hey, like I missed him. Like that's on me. I missed him. I got to be better. Your team is going to respect you a lot more. So, I mean, that was kind of bullshit. I didn't like that. But he better start getting the ball to Marv. What's the action on advice if we have Tua? How we doing this if we are a contender versus a rebuilder? Yeah, that's tough, man. Um, so I'm kind of trying to rebuild, and actually that subscriber league number one, right? I don't know what the hell's going to happen to Tua. It's hard for you to, it's hard. It's going to be hard for me to get rid of him. So if I'm a rebuilder, like I'm okay with I'm okay with holding for now. But if you can get rid of him, I mean, I want more than a first because I don't think this is going to end his career. But of course, that's a possibility. So you can try and move him if you can. I mean, I want a first plus, but it's going to be hard for somebody to even spend that. Can you trade him to another rebuilder, maybe? Um, So I'm even still looking at options of like, what should I do, or should I just kind of hold on to him? If you're a contender, shit, you got to start paying up somehow. Look for that rebuilder. Who does that rebuilder have? Who can we get? You're gonna have to pay a tax on it probably too. So then we go for maybe somebody not crazy expensive, but a Jared Goff. I want to say Deshaun Watson, but nobody ever wants to hear that. But nobody believes in him. Like, and I just don't. I don't know if he can continue to be like this bad. Apparently, he lost his father. Before that week one. So, like, I know I keep making excuses for the dude, but he's so cheap. Like, and nobody wants him. Um, can you somehow transition to that? Uh, who else is out there? Let's run through some of the quarterbacks. Uh, Baker Mayfield just had a game. I mean, he might be tough to get, but can you target a team with three that has three quarterbacks? What Matt Stafford. I want to say Gino, but that's so ugly. Kirk, I don't know what to think about with Kirk Cousins because he didn't look good. He didn't move well. And that team is good. They've got playmakers. So, like, is there a point in time where Kirk, the next few games, like, doesn't really get it together? Like, we're gonna start hearing the whispers for Michael Penix, right? Can I go get a Michael Penix? Maybe that could be a good trade target, right? Who's got Michael Penix on the bench? Who could use a Tua when you're rebuilding? I'm about to go through my squads tonight. I have Tua with and start seeing like what I can do. Bro, I started Keon left out. It was the game script. Yeah, I know. I know it was a game script, but I know. I know. But yeah, Diaz, that's probably who some of the guys I go after. Maybe you want to say Joe Burrow, but I mean, he's just people are just as much kind of skeptical with Joe Burrow right now with the damn wrist. Is Shakir going to be a top 15 wide receiver this year? Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a possibility though, for sure. Baker could replace Tua. No, I'm not saying it can't. It's just rough because Baker just had a great game. So like whoever has Baker right now is just gonna hold him for ransom, especially if you got Tua and you need a quarterback. Like, can you go I mean, I guess you can try and go cheap with like a Aaron Rodgers or I don't that's just so ugly. Like Deshaun Watson is young enough to turn it around, I feel like. Sam Darnold, you gotta find a team that's got an extra QB. You're dumb taking CMC first overall? No, not necessarily. I mean, CMC obviously is a huge difference maker, and most people that were in the ships, had CMC on their squad. So, I mean, it wasn't a dumb pick, but I mean, you could have really made the argument this year to maybe minimize the risk because he was already coming in with an injury. But that's the risk that we take, right, in fantasy, especially in redraft. Like, we've gotta take some of those risks. That's a league winning risk, like, so, but to be fair, like, what CD did last year, like, he kinda earned, that number 1 spot to be questionable. It wasn't kinda CMC or nothing, CD definitely deserved to be up there, Tyreek Hill. He coulda went with any of those guys too, but it's rough not to go with CMC, so I don't think it was dumb, but Alan Lazard a worthy start or stash him on the bench, redraft PPR. I don't know if he's a worthy start, especially now. Who they playing? Let me go to the games real quick. But the more important thing is who you starting them over. Like it's got to be deep if I'm going to start Lazard. They're playing the Titans. I mean, who are you playing him over is the more important question. Aaron Jones or Dell for the flex PPR. I'm probably going to roll with. Well, Vikings got we got the Niners this week, so it is a good defense. Tank Dell. Who we going against? We're going against the Bears. Uh, that's a tough one. It's hard to not go with Dell. It's hard to not go with Adams. I mean Aaron Jones, but they are playing a good defense in the Niners. I don't know how exactly that's going to turn out. Dell is also the third wide receiver basically on the Texans, but I do like him kind of over Diggs. I'm gonna go out on a limb and just go with Dell and just say like not play the bad matchup maybe with Aaron Jones. But hit me again in the morning. I might change my mind. Carlos said, "Where's Hammer? What up, Carlos? Hammer needed off tonight and Tuesday night. But he said he'll get on for a morning episode, so we might get on in the morning for a little bit. San Fran could have been more honest about CMC injury before the season started. Well, I think he re-aggravated it. Basically, is the problem because they said it was his worst day of practice. Apparently, the other yesterday or the other day, whatever it was. So I think it's more of like it was sore, so they're trying to, take it slow, work it out. But I think that it's just you've kind of re-aggravated it. So now he's got to like indefinitely be out, which he should. I mean, listen, if he misses 4 games, that would be what, 5 games in total, basically. Are you okay having him for the other? I don't know, what is it, 8? How many weeks we play in fantasy until the playoffs? And then you got the playoffs too, so you still could have him for, more than half of the season as long as he gets healthy. But Saints Cowboys, I mean, hopefully Dak can throw the ball more in this game. Hopefully CD can do more. I mean, Kamara was awesome last game. I mean, the whole Saints were. I mean, Shaheed wound up catching a bomb. Carr had 3 tutties. That's probably not going to happen against the Cowboys, but I think Kamara will still get his points. He's going to catch them passes, but Olave needs to do something. I mean, however many points Saints put up last game, what was it, like 40? Olave had nothing to do with nothing. And I understand like they didn't really have to throw the ball basically when they were up, but I mean, still. Kyle, what's up, Kyle? ETN Ford, pick one, full PPR. Who we got ETN playing? The Browns. That's a tough defense. Um, they're playing each other, matter of fact. Jaguars are no kind of slouch either. I'm gonna take ETN just because I know he's probably gonna get the most work. He is kind of that workhorse guy. I know Tank Bigsby had 12 carries last game. I know, but I'm not. I don't think I'm running away from ETN here. And Ford was awesome too, but I'm gonna still roll with ETN. Albert, what up, Albert? Appreciate you, brother. How's it going for you in fantasy so far, Albert? What's going on? George, what up, George? DJ Moore or Flowers non PPR? If it's non PPR, I'm going to go with DJ Moore. I mean, Flowers can catch a lot of passes, but a lot of them are close to the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, right? That offensive line is not that good. DJ Moore, you're dealing with injuries to Odunze and also Keenan Allen. So yeah, give me DJ Moore over Flowers. And should I trade Brian Robinson and Waddle for Collins and Reed, non PPR? Yeah, I mean Waddle's going to be tough because obviously Tua is going to miss at least some time. Brian Robinson is okay, nice to have, but I'd rather have Nico Collins. Problem is Jaden Reed. I mean, he's just there's no Jordan Love right now, so you're going to be missing weeks with him as well. But I'd rather have the wide receiver in Collins. I mean, I feel like you can probably replace it. Brian Robinson production. Waddle and Reed are kind of both going to give you relatively the same thing with not great quarterbacks playing. So if you need the 2 wide receivers and Brian Robinson is like expendable for you, then I'm okay with that. It really just depends on your team, on your roster. Like who else is on your squad? If you've got other running backs, then yeah, for sure. Bogey, what up, Bogey? What's good? Running backs: Barkley, Gibbs, Mason, Javante. Yeah, you're fine, man. You got Barkley and Gibbs. You got Mason there also. Javante, not a great first game. Was out carried. I don't know what the hell's going on over there, but yeah, you're okay losing Brian Robinson. I'll take the wide receiver. Who's your other wide receivers? What's the rest of the squad look like? Bucks Lions, right? We just talked about Baker kind of going off. I mean, Godwin and Evans both had good games. Evans going ham as usual, but Monty, I mean, 17 for 91 with a tutty again. He usually scores a tutty other than one game, I think it was last year. He scored a tutty in every game basically that he's played. You can knock him in for a tutty. More Flowers, AD Mitchell, Brian Thomas Jr. Okay. More Flowers. But you're asking either Moore or Flowers. Who's the other wide receiver you're playing? I'm guessing it's going to be Brian Thomas Jr. And then what are you running with? Barkley and Gibbs at RB, and then Mason in the flex with Moore and Brian Thomas. Brian, what's up, Brian? With Lazard, I got Nico Collins and Olave as my wide receiver 1 and 2. Okay, just not sold Olave, sold on Olave at all. Yeah, I mean, I'm not playing Lazard over Chris Olave. Like that, I'm not doing. You know, are you playing him in the flex or are you trying to play him like over Olave? You started this week more in Waddle. Oh, that's right, because Waddle played. Yep. Okay. But yeah, you're good. Amon-Ra St. Brown, hopefully he comes back and has a day this time. I mean, it was JMO last week with 5 for 121 and a tutty. People flipping out about it. I haven't even been able to get a first for him. I'm trying to get rid of him, and like nobody wants to give me a first right now. Has anybody been able to sell Jameson Williams in Dynasty? And if so, what did you sell him for? Jaden Daniels or Dak this week? What's up, Jacob? I mean, Jaden Daniels is he didn't even play like well throwing the football, but he ran the football well. The Giants are bad. Um, so I like Jaden Daniels. I mean, Dak's going against the Saints. Is that a high scoring game? Well, with 4 point passing touchdown, like I like Jaden Daniels. He ran in 2 touchdowns last week. So I'm gonna go with Jaden Daniels. I'm gonna ride with Jaden Daniels, especially going against the Giants in a 4 point passing tutty. I was telling everybody that every draft at the end, go ahead and grab Jordan Mason. It's bittersweet. I hate that it was good advice. Well, I mean, that's just a smart way to go, right, Bogey? I mean, we knew that Elijah Mitchell was out already. So, like, we know the next man up is Jordan Mason. We knew that. And we knew that CMC was hurt coming in. So, knowing all those things, if you have CMC, and I don't have any CMC, but I was able to scoop up Jordan Mason in a few leagues, like, Jordan Mason should have been on your squad. Alan, what's up, Alan? $100 league. The league vetoed Kamara and DK for CD. What kind of BS is that, man? That is BS. Is that redraft or is that dynasty? Just asking. I'm gonna guess it's redraft, but yeah, I mean, what you don't you don't veto a trade unless it's clear collusion. I mean, Kamara was RB3 last year in points per game, and now this year he already smashed week one. DK, yeah, DK didn't play well week one, but we're looking at over the long haul of the season. It's not about just the one game DK didn't do well. If you need a running back and you have CD and you want to split that up into a wide receiver that you believe in and a stud running back, then you should have the right to do that. And vice versa. You should be able to tier up if you've got that extra running back and the wide receiver to go get CD. So That's bullshit, especially if it's a $100 league. Like nobody's trying to lose their money. So, you can't tell people how to feel about certain players. Sending super low ball offers for CMC. Yeah, could try and do that. But I doubt people are going to give him up. They're going to hold it out. They're going to wait on it now. I mean, he was the number one pick. So you got to just die on the hill. Jaden Daniels should have a coming out party against the Giants defense. Well, he had a coming out party last week, it feels like. He was awesome. And he was my most targeted quarterback in redraft because he was going so late. Like it was worth the risk. Bryce, what's up, Bryce? What's good, man? Pick three: Olave, Wilson, Ayuk, Nico, and Terry. Of course, it's Nico. We got to go with Nico. Um, we're gonna go with Garrett Wilson, right? We got to go with G. Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. No matter how not amazing they looked last game, gotta go with Wilson. So you got Nico and Wilson for sure. Ayuk is rough because there's a lot of guys there. He's kind of up and down. Terry didn't do squat. So does he come back to life? Olave didn't do anything either, but Olave does have some of the upside. He is going against a tough-ish Cowboys defense, but I want to say Nico, Wilson, and Olave, but I'm okay if you want to go with Ayuk over Olave. So I'll let you decide that, but for sure it's Nico and Wilson for me. And Terry is automatically out of the conversation. Until we see Terry produce, I'm not going to play him over any of those other guys. Yeah, especially not in the 4 point. Like, oh yeah, we're going JD at flex. London or Flowers. So Flowers gets, he gets targeted a lot, but everything is close, right, to the line of scrimmage. London obviously did squat last game. Kirk Cousins did not look good, but coach did come out and say like they need to get the ball to London more. So, is he able to hold up, against that Eagles secondary? And Kirk actually get him the football. So it is kind of a risk. Flowers is probably safer. He's going to give you points. Um, but he's probably not going to produce, as much. He doesn't have the ceiling, I would say, I guess, as London has. So I'm going to say London, but if you wanted to play Flowers and play it safe, I'm okay with that. But I'm going to take London. Let's go with the upside. John ED, what's up, bro? What's goody, man? Yeah, Alan, that's just bullshit, especially when everybody's paying for this league $100. Like you should be able to do what you want to do. Like people shouldn't be able to hold you back there. I have CMC, and in all three of those leagues, I either Mason and Garendo or some semblance. Yeah, I mean you have to because anybody in that offense is gonna be awesome. They're gonna do well. Other guy had Walker hurt and has Madison starting, needed RB. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So now you're like, now I'm paying money and you're refusing to let me make trades that I want to make. You know what? I'm okay. Let me get my money back, and you guys can. There's no need for me to manage my team if you're not going to let me do what I need to. So you guys set the starting lineup and just fucking play. you know, Not sure if it matters, but in PPR, who do you like more, RB or wide receiver? I mean, I like wide receiver more in PPR, but at the same time, it kind of depends, right? You've got these running backs that if in full PPR, like Alvin Kamara, that just put up a shit ton of points. So kind of just matters the situation. But for the most part, yeah, wide receivers because they catch more passes. Jacob, what up, Jacob? But it could mean more for the running back. So it's kind of a sticky question. You think AJ Brown gives it a go on Monday night? Coach said it was tightness in the hammy. They were being careful with him. That's a tough one, man. I don't know. I do have a few shares of AJ Brown, so I'm even like, damn, what the fuck? What am I gonna do? So I am a little worried about it, but I'm not. I'm playing AJ Brown. I mean, if he winds up not playing, then fuck it. I might. I'm probably losing anyway. Or the replacement is probably not great regardless. So I'm probably just gonna wait it out. But wait till we hear some news in the morning, I guess. See if something comes out before some of the games, and we'll kind of play it by ear. So nah, nobody's selling CMC for less than a first for sure. There's no way, hurt or not, IR or not. I'm worried about Jaden. Watch the game. He's telegraph his intentions as soon as he gets the snap. I feel you, and he's got to learn and obviously process through that. I mean, he's new, obviously, in the NFL, but being able to run obviously is going to help him out a little bit, and he'll start learning. He's not going to be able to keep telegraphing it like that, and he didn't have a great passing day anyway. He really didn't. I feel you. Pittman or Flowers? I'm thinking Pittman. Pittman had a bunch of targets. I think he had 8 if I'm not mistaken, but maybe we got sleeper up here. And you know that A-Rich can kinda, at any point in time, just heave it up. Birdman, what up, Birdman? Appreciate you, bro. Again, Flowers is safe. I'm not gonna deny Flowers is not safe, but give me some of the upside with Pittman. What side would you rather? What's up, Blue Jays? Pacheco, likely, Reed or Amon-Ra St. Brown, Warren, Njoku, half PPR. Pacheco, likely, or Reed or Amon-Ra St. Brown, Warren, and Njoku. Give me the difference making wide receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, Pacheco's nice to have, but I want Amon-Ra. Likely, I mean, he's okay. I know Njoku's a little banged up right now, but I don't care to have either or the other. I probably prefer Njoku actually. And then Reed, like, okay. I feel like I can replace that, especially with the injury to Jordan Love. So yeah, give me the best player in the deal, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Derek, what up, Derek? Stash Benson or Bigsby PPR redraft? Yeah, of course. Any team that has a workhorse running back, it's worth to roster on your bench the backup. You should have both of those guys on your bench. Who else do you have on your bench? Because I'll let you know, drop somebody else right now. Because those are the league winning running backs, right? What happens when James Conner goes down? Like, is Benson then going to take over everything? I think talent wise, he's the best other RB in that room, right? Same thing with Bigsby. I mean, who else is going to come in? I know last year was kind of Dernis Johnson, which was kind of annoying, but I think Bigsby has kind of made a name for himself now, at least within his team, and they're starting to trust him and everything. So if ETN was to go down, Bigsby, that's a league winning running back. Both of those guys should be stashed right now. Miles, what's up, Miles? I have Flowers and Neighbors, Connor and Mason. Who should I start at wide receiver, running back, and flex? Without a doubt, we're starting Mason, right? We've just got the news with Christian McCaffrey, so we're definitely starting Mason. Um, I think I'm definitely starting Connor too. He's full go. So we're starting Mason and Connor at RB and flex. Now we just got to choose a wide receiver between Flowers and Neighbors. Again, Flowers is probably the safer bet. Neighbors has the better upside, but the Giants suck. Like, how many times, how many quality targets is he going to get? I'm still going to roll with Neighbors just because of the upside there. Again, I think Flowers is safe. If you want to go the safe bet, go Flowers. But I'm going to roll with Neighbors, Connor, and Mason. Connor and Mason for sure. I mean, you can decide which one between Flowers and Neighbors you like, but I'll roll with Neighbors. Blue Jays, what do you think is a fair target for Pacheco, Reed, and Likely? What tier of running back or wide receiver could I get? Half PPR 12 team. I don't really know what you can get because it really depends on your league. I mean, not everybody's just going to want Pacheco, Reed, and Likely unless it's a need for their team. So, what you need to do is go through every single team in your league and see who needs a wide receiver. Nobody really wants Reed right now because of Jordan Love and him being injured. So, who needs a running back and who needs a tight end? because that's who you're going to be able to sell Pacheco, Reed, and Likely to. Somebody that needs a running back and somebody that needs a tight end. Who's the CMC manager, right? Do they have Mason on their squad? Do they need a running back? Who's weak at tight end? Or who believes in Likely more than like Jake Ferguson just got hurt. I mean, you could go to that manager. Dalton Schultz got hurt. You can go to that manager if somebody had him. Andrews didn't have a great game. Can you go to that manager? Right. So you got to find a team and attack. It's not just about like who could you get. It just depends on who that other team has that needs what you're looking to give up. Hopefully that makes sense. Tingley, what up, Tingley? Pick two to flex. PPR: Brian Thomas, Kirk, Cooks, Demarcus Robinson. Likely, I have Andrews. Not playing Likely in this situation. Probably not playing Demarcus Robinson in this situation. So it's going to be between Brian Thomas Jr., Christian Kirk, and Cooks. I think Ferguson is out, if I'm not mistaken, or most likely won't play. So I think Cooks is a good option. He did wind up scoring a tutty. So I think Cooks is a good option. Brian Thomas had the touchdown. Kirk did not. They both had, if I'm not mistaken, the same amount of targets in that game. They both had 4 targets. I don't want to really necessarily play both of them. I'm gonna say Cooks and then just decide between Kirk or Brian Thomas. I think Brian Thomas is more in the red zone and more deep play threats. Kirk is more of like PPR, closer to the line of scrimmage, intermediate routes. So I'm gonna roll with the momentum of Brian Thomas here and go with Brian Thomas and Cooks. I think. I just have a tough time playing both of those guys, Brian Thomas and Kirk. Especially you're playing the Browns too, which is a pretty good defense. Do we hope Brian Thomas catches a bomb or a tutty at least? So yeah, give me Thomas and Cooks. I'll play it safe. Any AJ Brown pivots, RGQ? Not necessarily. I mean, are you talking about Dynasty RGQ or are you talking about just in redraft? Like at least toss up like AR. Come on, Jaden. I think once he gets a little more comfortable, hopefully we see that, right? He tossed it up, in college, obviously, to his boy Brian Thomas Jr. Um, a ton. So I just think it's a matter of him getting a little bit more comfortable, and hopefully we see that, Diaz. I hope so. I know people are treating Ra like he ain't shit now. One game that he didn't have to do nothing, and now all of a sudden people are going crazy. And what's even crazier is I still can't get a first for freaking Jameson anywhere. Everybody still wants to wait and see. But yeah, it's week one. I mean, I know people are treating Reed and Rice like they are elite. I, for one, am not, but people don't really want to hear that. I'm projected to lose by 9 points. Do I stick it out and hope AJ Brown plays, or pick up Demarcus Robinson and wait and see if any news till Rams game? Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't wait to pick up Demarcus Robinson. I mean, I would just pick him up. Can you just drop somebody else on your bench? Do you have an extra tight end or quarterback on your bench that you can afford to just drop? What you don't want to happen is somebody block you out and pick up Demarcus Robinson, especially your opponent. It's way too early about the projection. That doesn't matter much right now. But, yeah, you're going to stick it out and wait and hope A.J. Brown plays for sure. But you also want to have a backup plan just in case. Derek said, I'm dropping Jeff Wilson. There you go. RBs are Achan, Gibbs, Monty, McLaughlin. All right. Najee versus Denver or Ford versus Jacksonville. Denver bad run defense. Yeah, Najee got a bunch of carries. I know Warren was a little bit banged up, but Ford was good also. Ford was good also. Damn, it's hard to not go. Let me pull him up real quick. I mean, Ford had 6 catches, which was big. Actually had 20 carries, didn't really do much with it. But again, it is against Denver, so that's a tough one. If it's full PPR, maybe we go forward because of the pass catching. Full PPR, I'll take forward. Jeff Wilson was Loretta's just pass pro. They don't trust Wright to pass protect. Yeah, yeah, Wright is still a young buck. They haven't gave him much yet. Trade veto is an automatic drop. Yeah, for sure. Also have a problem playing both of those Jaguars against the Browns defense. Yeah, that's a tough one. Pick which one you want, but I'm not playing both of them. It is go time week 2. I need some wins. I took a lot of L's last week. And, obviously the leagues I think I've got Cheetah in 2 leagues, so that fucking hurts. Got Waddle in a couple, so that hurts. My only drop of a player is Coleman. There's no way. Or do I just play Brandon Cooks? Hold on, I gotta go back now. I don't remember. AJ Brown? No, I'm not. I'm gonna wait to the last possible second. I'm not gonna play any of those other guys. Like I'll just play Demarcus Robinson and live with it to still have the chance to play AJ Brown if he plays. My bad, Derek. My bad, Derek. Hold on. Let me go back to yours. Stash Benson or Bigsby. Yeah, we went over that. Dropping Jeff Wilson. That's your RBs. All right, hold on. Let me go back up. Just ask the question again, Derek. My bad. Why can't I even see it? See the Stash Benson or Bigsby. We went over that. I'm dropping Jeff Wilson. Yeah, yeah. Definitely drop Jeff Wilson and pick up one of those other guys for sure. Because even with guys hurt, Jeff Wilson, no. Who's JWJ? Benches Reed and Coleman. Cooks. Who do I drop for DeMarcus? Reed, Coleman, Cook. Who else? Name every person on your bench right now. Reed, Coleman, or Cooks. If it's that shallow, I mean, learning a first straight up for Jameson or even Mason is not going to happen. Instead, you need to be creative and accept them to deal that cut potentially a first type of value. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I try to even add to it too, like Deontay and Mason for Mason in the third. Yeah, playing Najee. I feel you, Bogey. It's only 4 people on the bench? See, I mean, if it's only 4 on the where is it? My bad. If it's only 4 bench, you got Ford, Coleman, Reed, and Cooks. I mean, do you trust Reed to score more points than Cooks or Coleman without Jordan Love. Um, if you're not gonna play any of those guys anyway, Reed's a stash. Okay, so I mean, listen, if you're not gonna ever really play Cooks or Coleman, then I guess I'm okay to drop one of them. Start Ford, McLaurin, or Worthy. Well, it's not McLaurin. I don't think. Not until we see something. Let me just look him up real quick. Hold up. I mean, 4 targets, yeah, that's just not gonna cut it. Listen, the Giants aren't that good, but I gotta see him do something. Like, Ford is gonna be the best bet. He's gonna be the safest. Worthy is gonna be hit or miss. You're either gonna get a big play or two, or you're not. The one good thing going for Worthy is that obviously Hollywood Brown is out, so Worthy's gonna be on the field. So if you want to go for the absolute upside and like boom week, that'll be worthy. But otherwise, I'm playing Ford. I'm not disagreeing with you, RGQ. I'm just saying the bench is so shallow where it's a shallow bench, and that's fine. If you want to keep Reed, then either get rid of Cooks or get rid of Coleman. If I had to pick, it'd probably be Cooks just because of the upside like Coleman has in that offense. Um, Even though he really hasn't done much yet, but I think as we get, going into the season, he'll get a lot better. Madison or Dortch? I mean, listen, Kyler loves Dortch. So I'm probably just gonna roll with Dortch. The good thing with Madison is that he actually got like a ton of work, and the Raiders are just not that good. I mean, Dortch had 6 catches on 8 targets last game. Madison 4 catches on 6 targets with another 5 carries. He did have the touchdown, but yeah, I'm gonna take Greg Dortch. We're going Dortch Dillon. My starting team is Mahomes, wide receiver, AJ, Pittman, Flowers, Saquon, Jacobs, Flex, Najee. Yeah, I like it, man. I like it. Simp, what up, Simp? Got AJ questionable Monday. I have London I can put in if he is out. Question is, who do I put in tomorrow since AJ's status I feel like will be game time? Pickens, Brian Thomas Jr., or Bigsby. Yeah, AJ Brown's is going to be for sure game time. Do you want to just take the risk and wait until Monday? Is there anybody else you can just pick up that's playing that night? Otherwise, if you just want to be safe, like it's either going to be Pickens or Brian Thomas for sure. It's not going to be Bigsby. Steelers got the Broncos. You could see their best corner. I mean, BTJ is going against the Browns too. Like that's a good defense. Um, do you hope that maybe Pickens catches something? I'm probably gonna go with. Oh, that's tough too because he's gonna be facing that best corner. Let me go with Pickens just because there's nobody else on that squad really, pass catching wise. So give me Pickens. It's definitely not Bigsby. London is who I'm gonna play if okay. If AJ's out. Okay, got you, because he's playing. Yeah, yeah. All right, so you're good. If AJ goes, then London will stay on the bench. Or do you just play London anyway and then just take the shot on AJ? That's a tough one. Just depends how risky you wanna play it. If you wanna do it that way, then that's fine. But, like, I really wanna play London over Pickens and BTJ this week. Somebody else had just brought up, I think somebody to play. But, yeah, you can play it safe that way. I just hate to miss an AJ Brown game. But is it the safest thing to do? That argument can for sure be made. You need to see something now. The Bengals, like, going against the Chiefs, right? A good defense. Bengals have not been good, right? Burrow didn't look good last week. Chase, the whole team. And now they're going against a good defense. So that's gonna be a tough game. Falcons, Eagles, Bengals, Chiefs. Excited for those. Rams, Cardinals. I mean, I'm excited to see Cooper Cup get another 20 targets. I'm excited to hopefully see Kyler Murray throw the football to Marvin Harrison. Um, kind of want to see like Derrick Henry run in for like 3 tutties and 100 plus yards. Do want to see what Jaden Daniels does against the Giants D. My Vikings got the Niners, of course. Same issue I have. And AJ Brown both in right. Picked up Campbell. Yeah, I mean, can you just take the chance and say, "Fuck it, I'll just play this other guy if AJ Brown's out." You know, 'Cause it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to just not play London, especially in redraft. Like we don't. It's one season, right? So I don't always love to play it safe. I'm a little more risky, or way more risky in redraft. So I'm trying to get to the win. Take what I get with Pickens or lose points if I wait and he doesn't suit up. That's true. Well, you could lose points if he does suit up though too, and Pickens just doesn't do well because Justin Fields couldn't get him the ball, was running around too much, or the Broncos just suck and they're up by they're up by too much and they're just handing the ball off to Najee 25 times. I mean, there's a lot of ifs, so pick which if you want to go with. But I would probably just play London and AJ Brown. And again, like it's not like Pickens has a great matchup. It's not like Brian Thomas Jr. has a great matchup. So why not take that chance? You feel me, Simp? Why not take the chance? Only consolation is he lost CMC. Okay. Well, then that's looking good. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow we'll probably be on like 11:30. We'll cover some of the news in the morning, go over more of the start sits. Niners worldwide, what's up? Who should I add with CMC on IR, Irving or Bigsby, just for a stash? I mean, you should kind of stash both of those guys if you could. I mean, who else is on your bench maybe that you can get rid of to stash both of those guys? You lost Mostert, so you got Eckler going. Okay. I mean, you got no choice there, so you're good. Xavier, what's up, Xavier? If AJ Brown is out, who do I flex? Tajay, Jaden Reed, Josh Palmer, Justin Hill, or Justice Hill, or Madison. I think those are all horrible enough decisions that you're going to wait it out with AJ Brown and pick up, just like DS said, he picked up Paris Campbell, Jahan Dotson. Who else is playing in that game? Who on the Falcons is on the waiver wire? I mean, is Mooney out there? Is Ray McLeod out there? Like, can you play one of those guys last minute? But especially with those, with the options that you have, no, I'm just waiting that out. There's no great option that you have to go to here. Demarcus Robinson, boom. No, Demarcus Robinson is no, you can't play him that night. You have to make that decision already. Oh, pick two of those? Well, you can't. You're not going to be able to play them if you get AJ Brown plays Monday night, right? So, or am I bugging? Yeah, I mean, if I have to pick two of those guys, God, I guess Tajay and Jaden Reed. I mean, even without Malik Willis, I'm gonna guess they're gonna try and get the ball in Jaden Reed's hands, one way or another. But I'm waiting for AJ Brown. I'm not playing any of those other guys. I'll play somebody else. Nick Gordon, what's up, Nick? I was offered Najee, Jordan Mason, and Jacoby Myers for a 2028. God, you're in 2028 picks right now. 2028 second and a third in a 14-man league. I just have to smash accept even if I don't like the players, right? I was offered Najee, Jordan Mason, and Jacoby Myers for a 2028 second and third. I mean, you know your league better than me, but if I had to go, I would think you can get more than just a second and a third for Mason, Najee, and Jacoby Myers. We might not get nothing for Jacoby Myers at the moment, but if you could probably sell Jacoby Myers for a third to somebody that needs some points. Jordan Mason, you should at the least be able to get a second, like in a small plus, at the least, if not a first, especially if you can find a CMC manager. And then Najee, you should at least be able to get a second too. I mean, it's a 14-man league. But you know your league better than me. Why is someone offering you this and not getting more for those guys? Unless people just don't want those. Unless people just don't want. Unless people don't respect like the picks, and you can't get rid of those guys for more. I would think you can get rid of those guys for more. So I'm okay with paying a 28 second and third to get rid of those guys for more. So that's an easy flip if that's possible. It's one QB. Okay. I'm the one with the picks receiving the players. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So can you, now that you're receiving those players for paying only a 28 second and third, can you move those guys now for more than what you just paid? Like, can you get a 2025 second for Jordan Mason at the least? Can you get a second for Najee or at least the third? Hate the players by like holy. I mean, that's okay that you hate the players, but you should be able to get more than what you're paying there. And that's the thought process of it, is just, making more than what you spend, right? That's just you're getting plus assets. Didn't know why, so I wanted to ask an expert before I missed something. Listen, I don't really know why either, but again, you know your league more than me. I mean, if people just wouldn't pay those kind of prices for these players, then no, I'll just hold on to my picks, but I don't know in what world that would happen. Like I said, you should be able to get at least a second for Najee, at least a second for Mason, and at least a third for Jacoby Myers. So you're already at least gaining one extra second round pick, which I'll take. You know what I mean? You're just flipping it. Yeah, you don't need to keep the players on your team. No, somebody's going to need Jordan Mason right now. CMC's out for the next 4 weeks. Jordan Mason is putting up points. So who needs a running back? They're going to pay you at least a second round pick. Najee, kind of same situation. I mean, so can you now, either trade those for picks, 2025 picks, or can you put those guys in a particular package to tier up at another position? Are you in need of a wide receiver? Can you trade Jordan Mason and one of your current wide receivers and tier up to the next tier? Can you get to the elite level somehow? It's a good point. Flipping is okay. Yeah, of course. We're always looking to flip. We're always looking to make a profit, no matter how small it is. Turning a third into a second, gaining an extra second, an extra third, an extra fourth, even. Right? All those matter. Don't think about it as just what players that you're going to draft there. No, you don't have to draft any players. You could use those picks in trades in order to get what you really want. Sometimes you can just, and Diaz, if he's still out there, he's one of them that he'll throw everything at you. He'll throw so many picks at you, you just like overwhelmed, and people just wind up accepting offers, right? Why is that guy even offering you that in the first place? Like, I don't understand why he would want a 28 second and a third. But yeah, I mean, I'll take it. Entering year 2 of my first, dynasty league. Okay, yeah, nothing wrong with that. You just gotta keep learning. And, like, the league format, so you said it's a 14 team, 1 quarterback, right? How many starters, like, do you have to start on offense? Like, the starting lineup, how deep is it? Not counting a defense or a kicker if you have those. I'm coming across this too. There are people new to Dynasty, and they are bringing the redraft mentality with them. They go there, bro. Keep trade cut is ridiculous right now. Keep trade cut is crazy right now. Isaiah Likely, tight end 6 over TJ Hawkinson, Mark Andrews. I mean, what? Like, it's just turned into like a redraft ranking. Like, it's crazy. There's no way. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know, but Isaiah Likely is not fucking tight end 6 in Dynasty. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, you let me know. I just that makes no sense. No sense. Let's look at running backs. Let's find some other stupid things they got up here. I mean, like even Alvin Kamara, RB19. I mean, Derrick Henry. I don't really care how old they are because they're running backs, but I know there was a crazy one. It's probably like Jordan Mason. Where's Jordan Mason right now? RB36. I mean, wide receivers, you're talking about Rashid Rice, wide receiver 13, Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver 17. I swear this changed like today. Xavier Worthy, wide receiver 19. Phew. Taking the package, take the 28. I'll throw you a 2037 first for shits and giggles. There you go. I mean, shit, take advantage. Can't trust KTC. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I could be dead in 2028 for all I know. Why would I care about those picks? Wasn't even thinking about that part. Simp, pick up Dotson, Mooney, or Ray to put in if AJ is out. Yeah, for sure. I can move Mostert to IR and pick up another player. Yeah, you could do that for sure. I mean, Dotson might be a good play with AJ out, right? I mean, Falcons really didn't look good. I mean, I like Mooney, but I mean, Kirk has typically made his wide receiver two pretty relevant. You ain't heard Amon Ra's a bum. JMO is now wide receiver four. Oh man, yeah, it's crazy. Amon Ra's officially jumped Jamar Chase. It looks like too. Puka starting to slowly fall. Wide receiver 10. Drake London after one game. Wide receiver 16 now. You think JT has a bounce back game tomorrow? I hope so. I do. I hope so. I mean, the Packers without Jordan Love are probably not going to be that good. So yeah, I do like JT tomorrow for sure. Andre, I got one share of JT. All right, guys. Throw any last questions you guys got out there before I get up out of here. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Smash the like for me, guys. Smash that subscribe. Puka's dead now. Bryce, Deshaun, Daniel Jones, all dead. Yeah, I know. I got Bryce in a league, and that's just I got Bryce in two leagues actually, but he's my QB3 in one of my leagues. But my QB2 is Deshaun Watson in that league, so it's just not looking good as of right now. Appreciate you subscribing, Nick. Welcome to the crew. We are here every Tuesday and Saturday night. Let me drop the Discord in the chat as well. We've got did I add a start sit section in there? I think yeah, I have like a lineup section or a start sit section. So you can always throw start sits in there. Um, and then of course there's all the dynasty stuff as well. Yeah, we got start sit section in there. So yeah, even especially if you're new to dynasty, join the Discord and you can see kind of like different strategies that people use and some of the advice that we give on there. You've got a one QB section and you've got a super flex section as well. So we try and keep it a little bit separate so we can be a little bit more precise with the advice because it's very different, right? Every format is different and it changes every trade, it changes every value. So it's really important to kind of to know your format. And whenever you ask a question, let me know. It's super flex, one QB, how many teams it is, 10, 12, 14. How many starters is it? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Andre, super flex is the way to go. Superflex is for sure the way to go. It's a lot more fun. If you haven't played Superflex before, once you do start playing it, you're gonna realize how much more fun it is. There's a lot more action. It's a lot more, a lot more trades go down because it's very different. It changes the values of things like a lot. It changes the values of things a lot. So, Andre, same thing. You too, bro. Join the appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. Welcome to the crew and get up in the Discord as well. It's free. I don't charge for anything and we're just building the community in there. So, hop in. We've got I think like 70 people in there or almost 70. So it is pretty active. Appreciate everybody. Smash that like for me if you haven't already. We need a best ball dynasty section. I should put a best ball dynasty section, a DS therapy channel. We should do that. We should do that. We'll have a DS therapy, live. We'll do a show or something maybe. Yeah, Superflex is for sure the way. I could add a best ball section for dynasty as well. I don't do as much best ball. I don't do any best ball dynasty to be honest. I just prefer, to play the regular way. But like as I'm growing more and more leagues, I probably might or should at least start getting into the best ball. AR5 or Josh Allen, I got both somehow. Well, Josh Allen played already, didn't he? Or am I bugging? But yeah, I mean, AR5. Smash the like. Appreciate you, Diaz. AR this week. Sell either one for an elite wide receiver. Yeah, for sure. Bro, I'll be crying tears of frustration. I know, bro. I had just a bad weeks all around in week one. So I got somebody that's got Tua in the dynasty league. Somebody's got Tua on the squad, on their squad. They also have Bo Nix, but I guess they don't believe in that in him. And I think Aaron Rodgers maybe. And I have Gino as my third QB in this particular league, and he's trying to buy Gino for me for a second, and Jalen Coker, which I liked coming out, but I don't really care for in this particular trade. But I want more than a second. I feel like I gotta tax him a little bit, right? I'm trying to get. I tried to get it first. He won't give me it first. I'll be crying tears of frustration. I feel you, bro. My juggernauts are about to go 0-2 as well, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening here? Well, actually, this one is. This one isn't. But yeah, I'm about to be 0-2 on one of my juggernauts. But I won the league. I won the dynasty league in this league last year, and I started off the same way, 0-2. Um, but I got faith. I got faith. We'll see what happens. Dia said, "Bye, Gino." You think that's enough? Just a second and just a second? Like I said, he is my third QB. Hold on, who's my other? I got Hurts and Kyler Murray as my two QBs in this league. Gino, I've got on the bench. I got Brissett on the bench as well. And Drew Lock for when Danny Jones loses the job. Well, yeah, you think the second is enough? I feel like I gotta tax him a little bit. I feel like I want more than a second. I'm trying to get it first by adding something else in there, but he hasn't bitten on it. So just take the second and live with it. I mean, I guess that's a proper process, but yeah, this is actually this other juggernaut's about to be 0-2 too. Oh no. I gotta get at least a running back or something. I don't got shit. Robinson, Miles Sanders. Ugh. Year one team's about to be 2-0. Don't be greedy. Take the second. I know, but yeah, I guess I will. I mean, I might throw like a Cam Akers or Miles Sanders in there just for the fuck of it, but I feel you. All right, guys. Throw any last questions you got out there before I get up out of here. Appreciate everybody for coming out again. Join the Discord if you haven't yet. Andre, you made it. Appreciate you. Boom. Nick, if you're still out there, appreciate you. Subscribe and join the Discord if you want. We actually were having a good. We should have a good discussion on that one trade that Diaz made. Brian Thomas and a first. He got 25 first for Jaden Reed and Rashid Rice. Kind of a interesting conversation. Different ways to look at it. So give me Carson Steele and a second for Gino. Yeah, I know. AVN award winner. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Diaz. Good luck. If I don't see y'all tomorrow, but I'll most likely be on in the morning. So hop back on. We'll talk a little more before the game start.